Hey Cinema Surfers, this is the very first episode of The Cinema Surfer. Allow me to explain. The Cinema Surfer is a new series that I'm starting on my channel, and it's not something that's new to you. You guys have seen it plenty of times on other movie channels. It's just that I'm using a different name for it. Basically what The Cinema Surfer is all the movies that I have recently watched in the last couple of weeks. The reason I call it The Cinema Surfer is because these are movies that I've surfed through and I've watched them, and this is a video of my reviews of each movie that I've seen over the last 4 weeks, I think it has been. 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And some of you may be wondering if I made this channel name just for this video series, and no, that's not the case at all. I actually already had a channel name, and I thought that this video series title would go perfect with the channel name. I don't know the original creator, but I do know that I got this from FK Vlogs, Frankie, and I'm pretty sure that she got it from Ian from Forkerball, so I don't know who the original creator is, but I really like the idea of movies that I have recently watched and then giving quick reviews on them. And so basically the way it will work is I will give a quick review on each movie I've watched, and I will give it a rating out of 10 stars. And then at the end of the video, I will tell you my favorite movie that I have watched out of all the movies that I've mentioned. And I will be mentioning the movies in order of when I saw them. So the first movie I saw was Back to the Future. This isn't the first time see or anything, but it was the first time see in a very long time because I haven't seen this whole trilogy in a while. And so I saw Back to the Future, really enjoyed it. After seeing it, it definitely is my favorite of the trilogy. I used to say that part 2 was my favorite, but now gotta go with part 1. I just love this whole entire story. I think the actors are really good in the story too, and I think it's a good movie. Back to the Future, good movie, and I would give it a 9 out of 10. Next movie I saw was Muppets Most Wanted, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this movie just because I did give a car review in my Out and About video. But I would give this movie about a 5.56 out of 10. The next movie I have to show is a movie that is pretty slow, but if you're gonna watch it, you gotta watch it for the performances because they are all amazing, and that movie is Doubt. Now, Doubt stars one of my favorite actors, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Every actor got a nominee, every main actor in the movie. Meryl Streep, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Amy Adams, and Viola Davis. They all got Oscar nominees. None of them won, unfortunately. And then this movie was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. A really, really neat movie about nuns and a priest who they may think he is doing some immoral things with the child, and it's just a great mystery. You never really find out the truth, but it's just a good movie. I really liked it. Like, if you're looking for a movie that you want to watch just for the performances, then I definitely recommend Doubt. I gave Doubt a 9 out of 10. Next movie I saw was Back to the Future Part 2, and I just took the disc out so you guys can see the cover. Yeah. I watched it again, and I liked it. I did like it, but I didn't love it like I used to. Back to the Future Part 2 used to be my favorite one of the trilogy. I've always loved it, and I still love it, how he goes back into the first movie to stop Biff from keeping the sports almanac, and I've always thought that was really neat, but this movie just has a couple of cheesy moments. Like Future Biff, or Griff, or whatever his name was, he had like this robotic face movement thing, and that kind of bothered me. I thought it was kind of stupid and cheesy. Not as good as the first one, but I still like it. It would probably still be in my top 100 favorite movies of all time, and I know that's not saying a lot, but for me it is. I'd probably get Back to the Future Part 2 a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. The next movie I saw was on TV, and that was The Departed. The Departed is a Martin Scorsese film, as all of you know. It stars Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio. Amazing cast lined up. I really, really like Jack Nicholson. In fact, at the moment, he's one of my favorite actors in the business today. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know, I just loved the idea of both Matt Damon's character and Leonardo DiCaprio's character are both trying to find out who they both are so that they can rat them out, because they're both rats and they're both kind of spying for the other team. This was a movie that I really enjoyed. It was a great movie. It's probably my top 30 movies of all time, and I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. The next movie I saw was 9. Really, really weird movie, guys. It's not amazing, but the animation is good. This is literally one of the most twisted, messed up movies I've ever seen. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's an animated movie. Why is this one of the most twisted movies you've ever seen? It's an animated movie. It's PG-13.
Which, by the way, definitely deserves that rating.
And it's just like, I don't know, it's just messed up. Characters are getting their soul sucked out of them, and characters are dying this way and that way, and no one survives. Only like 3-4 people survive in the end of the movie. Didn't really enjoy this movie too much. I would probably give this one a 5 out of 10. Next movie I saw was Winnie the Pooh. Now, Winnie the Pooh is one of Disney's newest movies. It came out in 2011, I think. It's definitely not their strongest, like, at all. I mean, recently they've released really neat movies like Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and then there was this movie, and
I just don't like it.
The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is way better. This movie, I found myself on my phone a lot, just getting distracted, and it was just a boring movie. It wasn't even entertaining or anything like Disney movies usually are. And the songs that they had in this movie aren't even clever or anything like Disney songs usually are. I don't even really know what the movie was about. I'm pretty sure it's about finding Eeyore's tail, and then there's one part where they're talking about a monster. Then there's one part where they're all stuck in a hole. I mean, just didn't really like this movie too much. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. Next movie I saw was Captain America the Winter Soldier, which I did enjoy. I think it is kind of overrated because I don't think it's as good as everyone else is saying. I still like the Avengers more, but I did like it more than the first movie. I thought that there was great action, and I really liked the post-credit scene. Probably my favorite part of the movie, actually, as sad as that sounds. It's not the best Marvel movie I've ever seen, like most people are saying. Like, I like Iron Man more, I like the Avengers more, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1 more, and then I don't know, I may even like The Amazing Spider-Man more than this one. It was a good movie, don't get me wrong. Lots of action, cool movie, but just kind of overrated in my opinion. I'd give Captain America the Winter Soldier an 8 out of 10. Next movie I actually saw in school, and it was kind of a free day, so we Netflixed a movie, and that movie was Turbo, the snail movie, and I did not like that movie at all. It's about a snail who dreams of racing, and he gets sucked into a car, and this fluid like goes inside of him, and he becomes a really fast snail, and then he gets entered into a race with real cars, and you all know how it ends. He's gonna win the race. I'm sorry for spoilers, but there's no point to the movie. It's not like it changed me or anything. Jokes were kind of stupid, and everyone knew how it was going to end. It just wasn't a very good movie. I would give it a 3 or 4 out of 10. And the final movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox. One of my favorite movies in my collection as of this moment. I really like this edition of the Criterion. Saw the movie. I absolutely loved this movie like I knew I would. See, I love stop motion animation. Frankenweenie, Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, those kind of movies, stop motion, I just love. It's probably actually my favorite type of animation. So this movie is an automatic plus for me. It's directed by Wes Anderson, and so it definitely has that Wes Anderson feel to it, where it's just kind of different and interesting, which I really loved about this movie. I loved the stop motion. It's not my favorite stop motion movie of all time, but it's definitely second place behind Frankenweenie. I really loved this movie. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because it is kind of a slow movie. Like, you have to be wide awake to watch it because you may fall asleep if you're not. Other than that, it's a great movie. I really enjoy it. So those are all the movies I watched in these past couple of weeks. Thank you for joining me on the Cinema Surfer. As for my favorite movie of all these, I would probably say it is Fantastic Mr. Fox, with Departed being close behind, because it's hard because I'm not really used to Martin Scorsese movies yet. I haven't seen too many. The stop motion animation movies I absolutely love. I love the feel to them and the look of them, and so Fantastic Mr. Fox is #1 for me this time, but Departed is a close second place. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope to keep continuing to do this series. I really like the idea of telling you all what I recently have watched and giving my reviews of them. So if you guys like this, also leave your comments below so I can know that I'm doing it for a purpose. Thank you everybody for sticking with me this long. Remember to like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and also to subscribe to my book channel. I'm Nathan Hale. Have a cinematastic day.